Guys, PSR, these financial restrictions that we place on the clubs, I get it. I do understand it to a degree. But who makes them all up? Who makes all this? Well, basically the Premier League make the rules up, and we have to abide by them. And my understanding, not my understanding, is fact, is that if a club, goes into net loss of over 105 million over 3 seasons, then they've broken the rules. You can't have net losses, okay? And for all the reasons, I don't think we need to go into some of the reasons why. I think most people understand that. And at the moment, the clubs that they've been looking at closely are Forest, Everton, Chelsea, Leicester. They're the main clubs. But it appears that all of them sort of, they're looking at it at the moment, seeing, what they've done, how they're looking at the figures. And most of them sort of may get away with it now, even though they're taking a close look at it. Forget City. We all know what the allegations are. But that's something different. And City are fine at the moment, hardly spent any money. Anyway, what I don't understand about this, and I still don't like them. I still don't like the PSR rules the way they are. I think it restricts Premier League clubs from actually not competing with the Europeans, but it's going to slowly drag us down, so that the European clubs can actually do what they want. Look what Barcelona do. They make the rules up as they go along. Look at the Olmo, shouldn't be registered, shouldn't be allowed to register. So what do? They have a long-term injury and say that long-term injury, we've signed 2 players, Victor Christensen and Olmo, who weren't being allowed to register. But it's that the players, now they're going to suffer. The poor players are suffering. And the Spanish national team will suffer unless you don't let Olmo register, and our club will suffer because we've now got 1 long-term injury. Listen, Rodri, listen, Man City, what Barcelona argue. And the Spanish League have said, oh yeah, okay, fine. Yeah, you can have the 2 registered, even that's against the rules. Great arguments. Well, come on. That's what our Premier League should start being a little bit cleverer. Just like the Spanish leagues are, okay? Otherwise, all that's going to happen, they will keep sort of orchestrating their rules, and we stick directly to ours as strong as we can and find people and take points off, etc., etc. It's going to hurt everybody. And our clubs, we're already seeing, Man United, the jewel in the crown, and we have to admit Man United are the jewel in the crown, are maybe suffering that they might have to sell Nacho and what's his name, Manu, because they need to get money in to buy other players. It's a ridiculous scenario. So, what is this? I'm just looking at the moment. You can offset things like the infrastructure costs or the academy costs or the charity foundations or women's football. They're elements that are buybacks. Why should women's football? I'm in favour of women's football, etc., etc. But hold on, aren't we an equal society now? Why should that be different from men's football? I understand, to try and build it up, to try and, make more people invest in it. I do get it, really. But it's still not equality. Where's equality gone? But then should they get the same salary? That's another question. Chelsea, for instance, they're going to be okay. But apparently the league have agreed the sale of 2 hotels to a company that's connected to the club owners, But the Premier League have agreed that. Apparently, that's my understanding. It might be real, but that's what I've read. The Premier League have agreed that they can offset that against any losses. Why? They've also the offloaded women's team to a club parent company. How can they do that? I don't get that. I mean, it's still, they've offloaded it to a parent company. I don't understand it if that's the case, which I understand it is, but I'm just saying, how can Chelsea get away with that? I'm not knocking Chelsea, I'm just saying Chelsea are very clever in what they're doing. It's brilliant that they're doing it, because we need to be as clever and as savvy as Barcelona. And then Man United, apparently they've made losses of 113 million, just over, on the 30th of June. But they should be okay with that because they know how to. Apparently, there's other things they can do to lose that sort of 8 million somewhere in the figures. So, there is some orchestration, but not enough. I mean, I don't get it. The rules basically can be changed, not changed. Premier League won't change them. But if they want to, 14 clubs. There's got to be a majority of 14 clubs that agree to it. Well, you know, if they're going to try and make it harder, you're never going to get City, Arsenal, Man U, Chelsea, Liverpool, Newcastle and Spurs. You know, straight away. You know, there's no way you're going to get the majority. So we've got to change the PSR rules so that it works better for our Premier League clubs to be able to compete better with the Europeans who will orchestrate things better. Chelsea are leading the way. They are brilliant. What the Todd etc. family are doing, I think they've got the right name. Who are they? Boyle, Todd. What the ownership there is brilliant. And I said it pre-season, and I got the blogs to show it when all the Chelsea fans were going on about it. Oh, and a lot of them were, and everyone was digging at Chelsea. I said, no, these guys are clever. They're businessmen, and they are brilliant. They've spent loads of money, bringing loads of people in. You've got 2 squads, and they can now sell people or swap people as they want on long-term contracts over years and years. Is it sort of 7-9 year long contracts? So the money's diluted. Brilliant business people. They're ahead of the game, okay, and it will work for them. Anyway, this is a long blog. People are going to get bored with it. I'm sorry, but I hope you listen to the end, because PSR has got to be reviewed and changed. It really has. It's frustrating. It's going to kill, to a degree, us going further. The European clubs love it. They want us to be stuck and be controlled by our own rules, while they, you know, the Barcelonas of the world and whoever can orchestrate ways around them. Anyway, that's my thoughts. Football Chat Uncensored. Reno talking. What are your thoughts?